What's up, retro duelists? So this video here is just going over a bunch of the reasons why I love retro formats, specifically being Edison, of course, since that's the one I'm posting about and doing a lot of videos on and playing a lot as well. So before we get into the video though, I do want to go ahead and remind you guys, go ahead and like the video, comment on any of your other reasons why you play retro formats, Edison, or maybe why you just don't play retro formats, and leave a comment down below and we'll continue the discussion down there. So without further ado, let's go and jump into it. So why do I love Edison format? I love it for one because this is around the time when I was playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Actually the most. I had been playing upon release when I was in elementary school. I played on and off again, played in locals here and there, got absolutely destroyed. Absolutely. They had no fun whatsoever, especially when it was like the first couple sets. I would get obliterated. So January of 2012, that time period is when I was playing a bunch, and this is like all the cards that I like absolutely like knew, loved. This was also when one of my favorite decks of all time, and will continue to be one of my favorites. Ancient Gears was probably, I think, one of the better decks. All right, let's just be real here. All right, being able to attack and not get punished for it, chef's kiss. All right, I stopped playing once I joined the service in 2012, and I really didn't pick it back up again until very recently, within the past 2 years, when one of my buddies would tell me that he was going to a locals, he'd go play, and he was played in GOAT format, and was a little hesitant because I really didn't know what GOAT format was, and it also didn't look like that much fun. However, he did eventually just end up building me like an Edison deck. Edison was starting to appear a little bit at certain stores, at least in our area, and he built me an Ancient Gear deck because he knew that was one of the ones that I loved a bunch and I'd always talk about. And he was just like, "Here, I'll sell you this deck for 20 bucks." I was like, "Sure, why not?" And then we went to locals. I had a shit ton of fun. And then I eventually started playing Edison, here and there. And then along with that, I also started playing GOAT. Now, GOAT was actually quite a bit of fun. I was always trying to come up with crazy, kooky decks that I can go ahead and bring and try and like steal some wins with. I have like a flip control deck. I made Empty Jar. I made a Monarch deck as well. And I was just trying out a bunch of tech, but after a while, I know a bunch of other people have played GOAT for like forever, but I just couldn't. I think I played it for probably like maybe 6 months before I eventually got very burnt out of the format. I just didn't enjoy it. It was mainly just due to like there's too many sacky cards. There's just too many busted cards. Dust Shoot being a 3 is one. Snatch Steal is another. Delinquent Duo is another just terror card. And it personally just wasn't fun. Every game just evolved to like, oh, did you top deck the most absurd card in the game? Yeah, you did. Okay, you won. All right, cool. We'll just go to the next one. Oh, you opened up like triple Dust Shoot, and then you already delinquented me. Dope. I don't even get to play the game. Like, at least for GOAT doesn't feel fun for me. I'll still play it from here to there, but it just doesn't feel fun. Mainly just because like there's a lot of points, a lot of ways that the game just becomes unplayable for you on turn 0, and it's just kind of sucks. But that's also one of the main reasons why I love Edison. Like, now, mind you, getting Dust Shoot at turn 1 really sucks, but you're not getting delinquented. You're also, you can still play out a hand if you get Dust Shooted. I've done it. Is it really difficult? Yes. But can you do it? Yes, because Dust Shoot's only at 1. And like a lot of those unwinnable games, like after turn 0, just don't feel that prevalent. And I don't really see them ever, maybe outside of like a couple games here and there. Another benefit to the format, is that there's a lot more cards. There's, I can't remember how many sets there are, but there's a good chunk. And with that good chunk of cards also comes with a lot of cards that help to deal with a lot of those problem cards in the format. So it never really feels like you're really out of a game until your life points actually hit 0. Whereas in go, and I'm pretty certain other formats, I'm pretty certain I'll realize that once I start getting into other formats, that like, oh yeah, I just sacked you turn one, and then you don't get to play the game. It's almost like a mirror of current format, at least for me. At least for me. All right. So another reason why I prefer Edison is that this is also when the game started ramping up towards like really, really combo heavy decks, but it's not at that point yet. So like think of like a glass of water. All right. It's like slowly like there's water slowly pouring in, and it's almost over the tipping point, but it's not. It's like just right there. And like that's just really nice that like a lot of other issue like another cards that are coming out in those later sets that actually like break the game, like Maxi, as well as other crazy ass hand traps, they're not in the game yet. All right, they're not. We do have hand traps, there's a few, but they're not absurdly busted. And then and then following off of that is that there's not one card combos. All right, there's not one, like that's a big thing that I really don't like in current format, is that everything is too consistent. All right, everything is way too consistent to where, oh, I drew this, oh, you don't have the response, okay, I just win the duel right here and there because I just activate this one card or summon this one card, my whole combo goes off, and then you better hope that you have like one or two cards in your hand to go ahead and deal with this board. Oh, and guess what? This board also has like 3 Omni negates on it or 2 Omni negates, and it's just like, all right, I'll just scoop. I don't want to play this. All right, that doesn't ever really happen in Edison. If it does happen, it's at a way later stage in the game and not turn one. Like, if that does happen turn one, then it's a very it's an anomaly. All right, it's not gonna happen consistently ever. Another thing that I like is that on the ban, there's a ban list that actually like does a lot. It limits a lot of the problem cards. I mean, yeah, it can be like, oh, you got sacked by this card. It's like, okay, it was in their deck, they drew it, and all right, I didn't have the response. Whereas in like, at least in current, it's like everything's at 3. There's a couple things at 2 that are, and then there's a couple things that are at 1. It just doesn't feel great. I really wish current format did move towards a ban list that very limited a lot of the cards and made the game more inconsistent. I really did. Because like, I think the fact that consistency is so huge and such a big thing in current format is, I think, one of the main reasons why current format is not doing as well as it is. I think if the pace of the game got slowed down quite a bit, then I think current format would actually be doing a lot better. And at least in my opinion. All right, at least that's just me. So, last thing of why I love Edison is that the barrier to entry, cheap. All right, I say cheap. You can build one of the best decks Black Wings for probably under $50. It might be a little bit more depending on how many of the staples you don't have, but you can definitely buy the core for less than $15. It just got a reprint, and pretty much all of them are got like secret and ultra rarity printings that are all under $1 each. So you can just go ahead and just go online, buy it all, and you're like, oh, I got an Edison deck. I can take this to locals. It's one of the better decks in there. It's, if not one of the best decks. I can go compete. Can't do that with current. All right. You really can't. If you're getting into current, oh, look at spending like, what was it? I think I sold my Vanadium deck. Just the deck itself plus the extra deck for like $450. I think I probably could have gotten $500, but I was getting the guy a deal. Like, think about that. $500. All right. For a deck core and an extra deck. That's not counting. If I'm pretty certain if I put all the hand traps and everything else that I had in there, all like all the hand traps, I probably could have got like $650, maybe. But yeah, like the barrier of entry, just being able to purchase a deck, play with it, and do really well with it, so low that makes it just, you can just show up to a shop. You can buy it online, show up to a shop, have fun, and that's it. And you can also just build wacky decks that you want because the cards are very cheap. Of course, unless you're buying the staples. But then once you buy the staples, that's it. You don't have to really ever buy them again. You're just buying all the new stuff, and you can just keep on swapping out cards and staples. That's why I got a bunch of binders. With all the staples that I need. That way I can just go ahead and in there and be like, ooh, I need this. Plunk that. Or I can also look at it and be like, what's something I can maybe use for a deck? And then flip, pull out a card, swap it out with one of the cards in my deck, and then try it out. I don't know. Just the way that I like to do things. So that's really it. I know a lot of these videos have been done in the past, and you know they're probably gonna keep on getting done. At Edison, as well as many other retro formats, they're just way more fun than playing in current format. All right, and it also, you know, I feel like the community is actually a lot more respecting, as well as a lot less gatekeeping than current format. But yeah, so for like anything else, if anyone is wondering, I also plan on getting into other retro formats. This is going to be a retro format channel. I think I'll probably do some current format deck lists and stuff like that. Talk about that a little bit, but it's only going to be revolving around Dark World and maybe another deck that I decide I'm like, ooh, that actually looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna try it out, and then I'll do something with it. But for the most part, this is all going to be retro formats. I do actually plan on getting into TOS format, as well as Tengu Plants, Collectible Exchange. One of the people that helped with the RBET Moreno Valley. They're going to be starting to do TOS tournaments there at the store. So I need to start gearing up and learning a little bit about TOS, and you know, we'll get some content for that going here as well. And yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and ride this Edison train out, being the #1 retro format for as long as I can. And even once it's dead and gone, I'm probably still gonna be playing it, and we'll be getting into other formats soon. We'll see. But that's enough. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you guys again for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys back here soon. All right.
That's for you too.
Have a good one.
Go ahead. For the lols.
What the fuck? Go ahead, bro.
Mill? Dude, Card Trooper's gone up for like 20 fucking cards.
Bro, you've milled like 15 to 18 cards. Yeah, I've only seen one Frog Engine, but the DD Warrior Lady couldn't work.
After 23?
Yeah. It all goes through. Just game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.